So we're going to start with this experiment with cookies, and we're going to explore the path attribute on cookies. And we're going to try setting a cookie at this path and see if you can access it at this or at that. And then we're going to try setting a cookie with its path. Try setting a cookie what at this path. So that should be when at this path. When at this path. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, this is going to be a little bit of a casual video. It's going to be totally slow, so just brace yourself for that or move on to something else. We're just going to meander here in this exploration of cookies, but you could hang out with us and have a good time. If you don't have anything better to do, pop the top on a bottle of 7-Up or a beer, sit back, chill out, and watch some coding. So I've got a Golang, or however you say it. And the changes from last week, I nuked my computer or restored it. So some of the changes I put to this markdown file, I didn't push them before I restored. I lost those, but that's okay. So a little bit of a review on cookies. If we're going to, this will take a second here, setup go root is not defined, setup go root, okay. And I need to configure some of this stuff because I don't like that collapsing. But here at set, we set a cookie, HTTP set cookie, and if we go and we look at the documentation on that, godoc.org, so weird having everything reset because you don't get all those autofills. Godoc.org net HTTP, and the one we're looking for is set cookie, so just find set cookie, right, and that's right there. So set cookie, response writer, and takes pointer to a cookie. So you might ask yourself, well, what is a pointer to a cookie? You can scroll down, there's type cookie. And type cookie has one method attached to it, which is the string method. So if you print it, it turns everything into a string and prints it out. And here's type cookie. So if we go look at type cookie, it's a struct. And it's got that name, value, path, domain, expires, raw expires, max age, secure, HTTP only, raw, unparsed. Let's see if we remember what all these different things do. What does name do? Somebody. It's the name of the cookie, right? Give it any name we want. Call it Mickey Mouse. Sweet, my cookie's called Mickey Mouse. What's the value? It's what we store in the cookie, and it's going to be a string. It's going to be of type string, so we store a string in the cookie. What is secure do? If we set that to true. Hello. Just because I'm not standing right now, you guys, are you focusing in? What's secure do? So it only transfers over HTTPS if you set that flag. What's HTTP only mean?
Just HTTP.
Yeah, just HTTP can read this cookie, not JavaScript, right? So we don't want JavaScript to be able to read this cookie. And what's the difference between max age and max age and expires? Which one's deprecated? Expires is deprecated, right? So max age is just how long you want this cookie to live in seconds. And what if you set max age to less than 0? What's that mean? Read the green. It means delete this cookie now. So we know name, value, we know secure, HTTP only, max age, and expires. Raw and unparsed, who knows? Not me. Raw expires, who knows? Not me. Path and domain, what are those? That's when I say not me, that's literally like, I don't know. I got to go read that stuff. I don't know. I don't know that yet. What's path and domain? So path allows us to say, hey, at this path, right? On down. I believe we're going to experiment with that. And domain says at this domain. And so we could set it to subdomain, domain, and maybe exclude different areas, right? So let's play with that for a second. That's what the exercise is to play with it. So we're looking here, we've got name, value, we're setting our cookie, and then we're requesting our cookie. And, oh, this is weird. So that's new for me. And I was using WebStorm, but now I've installed Golang, which is JetBrains IDE, and it's putting in all these things here, like pattern, address, A, and print line A. Not sure what the A is for. Print line takes variable A, which is an interface, any type. It's kind of interesting. So here's the name, my cookie. I'm going to find a way to turn that off. I don't really like that eventually. So there we're setting a cookie or reading a cookie. We could set multiple cookies. So we set my cookie, and then we're setting down here, we request them, but we're also setting general and specific, so just changing their names. And then we have a hands-on deal. Is this where I made the notes? No. Close all. And then we have a solution to that one here where we just do a counter. And so we're requesting a cookie. If there's an error, we're going to, if the error is HTTP error no cookie, we're going to create a cookie and give it this stuff. And then every time we'll increment that cookie. So that's a little incrementer. And then here we have max age. And so max age, set a cookie name and value, and then request a cookie, session, and then here cmax age is equal to -1. That deletes the cookie. So the next thing we want to do is I'm just going to grab this first one, copy that, and make it 06. And maybe before I do that, I'll just do, yeah, that's good. So 06, and we'll make this one path first. Do you want to add the following file to Git? Yes. Close all these. Oops. Cookies. 06. Who's interested in this experiment? Cool. So here we have set cookie. And we're setting this cookie. But instead of setting it here, let's do the route. And the route will be, I don't know. Okay. And we'll duplicate this function. And this one will be, instead of that, this will just be index. And here's index. And then we have set. And then we have read. And I think just try to think this through how I want to do it. I think that I don't know if we need read on its own area. Just thinking about this for a second. Try to keep it as simple as possible. I wish I had pause on OBS. Maybe there is on the actual one. OBS, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't see pause. We'll do it to read on, we'll do users, let's do this, users goofy, read, and that will be read. And then we'll also read it at index. So we're no longer setting a cookie here. But instead, we're going to request the cookie, my cookie. If error is not nil, if there is an error, we're going to say status not found and stop. Otherwise, we're going to say, hey, here's your cookie, and then show that cookie. And we could also just funct print line cookie right there. So it'll print to our terminal. And then for set, we set the cookie. And then for read, we want to see if we could read it. Also, when we set it, let's print it out. So we'll see if we could read it there. And we just set the cookie. So I need to do C colon equal and let me launch my terminal. Won't. All right, so here's what's happening. Let's check our imports. Funct and net.hp, cool. Index is going to request a cookie. If there's no cookie, it's going to give us an error. But we could say this. I'll just leave it like that. And then here we set a cookie. And I want to go funct this code. And then here we read a cookie. And we should be able to see the cookie we set. On the page we set it, we could see if we could see it down the path. And we could see if we could see it at index. Does that all make sense? Yeah? So we're setting our cookie at this location, and we're not specifying a path. So let's just see what happens. Go run main.go. Named cookie not present. So we go to index, and our error was named cookie not present. What happens if we go to users goofy? And let's look here, just see what we have under application, cookies, and we just have a Golang. So let's do users goofy. Your cookie, my cookie equals some value, and we now have that there. Cookie written, check your browser. In Chrome, go to DevTools application cookies. So it set the cookie, and it showed it to us. Now let's go to users goofy read. Your cookie, my cookie, some value. Cool. Now let's just go to index. It's not there. But if we go back to users goofy read, it is there. You see that? So the path is, we set it just by default right at this location. Can you all see that? Is that too small up there? We set it right at that location. So at that location we could read it, and down the line we could read it, but we couldn't read it right there. So let's modify this code. 02. And the way we're going to modify it now, path cookie's a struct, takes a name, a value, and a path, which is a string, and it's optional. But now I'm saying the path is root. So even though I'm going to set it at users goofy, I'm saying my path is root. So it'll be root on down the line. Let's see what happens when I run this one. Hey, multiple, is that what I call it? That's not what I called it. 2902 multiple. 29. That's so weird. It's totally running a different program. Let's see what happens when we run the right one. And it made sense the way I was talking about it. Okay, let's run this one. First, I'm going to clear out this cookie. Clear all. Cool. And now go localhost. And nothing. Name cookie's not there. Nothing's there. Go to users goofy. Cookie's there. Users goofy read. Cookie's there. Go back to the home one. Nothing. Okay? So the same thing. And now I'm in the correct place. I'm going to change. Go run main. And now remember we've explicitly set path. And so first I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go to users goofy and application. Nothing's there. So now we'll fire it up and refresh this. I'm just going to get rid of this cookie here so we can see it. See, there's two. Clear all. So now I'm going to just refresh and there should just be one. So there's that one. So users goofy. And my cookie now is my cookie equals some value, path is equal to that. I've explicitly stated it. You see that? And you can see that here, my cookie some value, path is equal to this. And so it's a users goofy works, users goofy read works. And now let's look at this one. My cookie is still there, right? It sees it now. So path, let me specify where in my path can I set my cookie. So if you wanted to set a cookie just for a user, right, I could say users goofy. And this cookie's only for goofy on down the line. It's not for anywhere else. And that's what happens by default wherever you set it. So you want to make sure that if you're setting your cookie somewhere in your site that's not root, but you want it to be accessible from your entire site, you need to put path /. Does that make sense? All right, so this video is just about path and cookie.